The crime world has always been ruled by lethal and intimidating men who can burn the whole world into ashes. The mafia has always been leading over everything, from the highest levels of government operations to the drug trade on street corners. But they did it always unnoticed. They possess absolute control. In this video, we will talk about the top 10 countries with the most influential and fearsome mafia in the world. Number 10. Turkey. Turkey's geographical location encasing the Middle East and Europe presents the Turkish mafia with the ideal transport routes for smuggling illicit products, from Asia to Europe and vice versa. The Turkish mafia initially dealt in the trafficking of weaponry in the 1970s, heroin from the 1980s to the present, and subsequently human trafficking. The most significant and powerful Turkish criminal families have achieved considerable success in other countries, such as Germany and Switzerland. Their most notable criminal venture is heroin trafficking, from which they make a staggering $20 million profit. They make at least $5 billion a year from the daily trafficking of armaments from Europe to Middle Eastern conflict zones. Number 9. Bulgaria. The Bulgarian mafia engages in a multitude of unlawful transactions on a daily basis, involving contract killing, arson, assault, drug trafficking, and embezzlement. The Russian, Ukrainian, and Serbian crime syndicates are accomplices of the Bulgarian mobsters, who primarily do business with them. Investigations against drug trafficking networks led by Bulgarian crime organizations have taken place throughout the US, but specifically in Los Angeles and Tampa. These organizations deal with the import of thousands of doses of ecstasy and cocaine into the country. Identity fraud, organized bank fraud, drug trafficking, mortgage fraud, prostitution, money laundering, extortion, firearms trafficking, loan sharking, pornography, credit card fraud, and immigrant trafficking are among the offenses perpetrated by Bulgarian organized crime groups. Owing to all these nefarious activities, the Bulgarian mafia is worth an estimated $7 billion per year. Number 8. Japan. It's difficult to think that gangster behavior is prevalent in the underground scenes of a nation where regulations are considered to be of the utmost importance. The Yakuza, a 400-year-old criminal organization that engages in everything from people trafficking to real estate deals, is colloquially referred to as the Japanese Mafia. Yakuza is the most dreaded name in Japan since it is associated with the largest and most powerful mafia clan in the country. At their peak, their primary operations were pimping, smuggling drugs, gambling, and blackmail. The Yakuza formerly had 85,000 members. Now the number stands at 30,000, who collectively earn more than $8 billion annually. Number 7. Brazil. The First Capital Command and Red Command, the two biggest domestic criminal gangs in Brazil, pose a severe danger due to their growing involvement in the international drug trade, as well as their local extortion and abduction operations. A small prison brotherhood that was established over 3 decades ago to safeguard convicts has now evolved into an ominously deadly mafia clan, with an estimated 40,000 members and multiple sources of revenue. In Brazil, small clans of 5 to 6 individuals are regarded as the most formidable, because of how brutally they treat their enemies. Their primary endeavor is domestic drug trafficking. According to estimates, there are more than 5.5 million criminals in the nation who frequently trade with the mafia. Their illegal operations generate more than $10 billion a year in revenue. Number 6. Russia. Most of Europe is where the Russian mafia thrives. Furthermore, it is widely prominent in the US. Over the past 20 years, Russian organized crime has grown significantly in the United States, with the last 5 years seeing the most increase. The Russian mafia has 250,000 individuals who operate in more than 50 countries and engage in crimes involving murder, robbery, extortion, and drug trafficking. In many aspects, the Russian mafia and the Italian mafia are analogous. The structure and organization of the group are patterned after one another. Nevertheless, due to their environment, the Russian mafia remain different from the Italian mafia because of the extent of political corruption and arms deals in post-Soviet Russia. Organized crime has been capable of rapid expansion and the assimilation of numerous government personnel. The mafia group is thus reckoned to be worth approximately $11 billion annually. Number 5. Italy. When we talk of the mafia, we all immediately picture The Godfather and Italy. Most of the mafia-themed films are nearly always staged in Italy. All significant criminal enterprises, whether local or foreign, want to emulate the Italian mafias, particularly the Cosa Nostra from Sicily, but also the Camorra from Naples, and the 'Ndrangheta from Calabria. Labor racketeering, where it seeks to dominate, manage, and influence a labor movement in order to have an impact on connected businesses and industries, is one of its primary sources of income, power, and authority. Al Capo, Lucky Luciano, and John Gotti were all egregious members of the American Cosa Nostra, which was acknowledged as one of the most ruthless organizations in the world. With a $13 billion yearly revenue from racketeering, drug trafficking, loan sharking, smuggling, illicit gaming, prostitution, money laundering, abduction, and many more. The Italian mafia is primarily prominent in the south of Italy. Number 4. Albania. Following the collapse of the communist government in 1990, Albania opened its doors to the outside world, and thousands of Albanians emigrated. They quickly recognized criminal prospects, and now, 32 years later, they are the top cannabis smugglers in the world. From as far east as Israel to as far west as South America, the Albanian mafia has monopolized a number of international affiliations. The main takeaway from these claims is that there is a strong connection between politicians and numerous Albanian mafia factions. Major strategic cities with the largest ports in Europe, such as London, Hamburg, and Rotterdam, are totally under the control of the Albanian mafia, with Europe as their potential customers. Additionally, the Cosa Nostra of Sicily enjoys close connections with southern Albanian clans. With an annual revenue of over $16 billion, the Albanian mafia is the one in Europe that is expanding the fastest. Number 3. USA. New York City is where the lethal mafia organizations in the US initially rose to prominence. The Gambino family, the Genovese family, the Colombo family, the Bonanno family, the Lucchese family, and the Outfits are the 6 largest and most active mafia families in the United States today. The families formerly reigned supreme over federal and state legislators and had investments in the entertainment world. However, organized crime has recently been decimated by the US government. Labor swindling continues to assist the mafia in retaining its macroeconomic grip over several industries. The US Mafia, which is primarily active in the cities of Chicago, Detroit, New Orleans, Philadelphia, Boston, and Las Vegas, is not in its greatest condition and only makes the list of the top 3 most dangerous mafia clans because it influences the largest markets around the world and generates over $20 billion annually. Number 2. Colombia. Numerous drug cartels, organized guerrilla organizations, and criminal syndicates have emerged and disappeared in Colombia, all of which have led to different kinds of criminal organizations. Although the organization was once recognized for controlling the illegal cocaine trade, it was also notorious for using violence for political advantage and waging an asymmetrical war against the Colombian government, primarily through bombings, kidnappings, the arbitrary killing of law enforcement officers, and political assassinations. The Colombian mafia makes $35 billion a year from the illegal drug trade. Around half of the world's cocaine supply and 80% of the US supply are produced in Colombia, making drug trafficking, contract killing, and racketeering just the tip of the iceberg among all its other criminal activities. And last at number 1, we have Mexico. The majority of Hispanic gangs in Southern California, as well as a few in Central and Northern California, are dominated by the Mexican Mafia, whose subordinate gangs go by the name of sueros. According to law enforcement experts, the Mexican Mafia is the world's deadliest and most powerful. They supervise the illicit trade between South and North America, particularly the trafficking of narcotics, and are home to some of the most notorious crime bosses in the entire world. The preponderance of Mexican Mafia members have the authority to control assassinations and numerous other illegal endeavors. They have ties to the Aryan Brotherhood, the Gambino family, Mexicanemi, and the MS-13, granting them access to the drug markets in the US and Canada, in addition to Colombia and Ecuador, where narcotics are supplied. Their illegal operations generate more than $50 billion in annual revenue. Want to know more blood-curdling facts about the gangs and cartels? Check out our previous video based on them here.